Well, first I'm going to do 2 because these are going to be really thick. I have just got through grinding a whole bunch of new coffee. So I'm ready. I'm just going to make kind of a base, a foundation to stop any leaks that could occur. And I do that with just really thick resin. I don't use anything under that. I just ground this up yesterday. So I'm going to take this out and work it while I'm out there. I'm just going to stir up the thickest one, the most plentiful one first. I don't have to stir it that much at first because I'm going to stir the hell out of it with all this coffee in there. You see I'm really putting a lot of coffee in there. It's hard to keep it from spilling out while you stir it. When I think I have it about right, I'll stop adding. I just keep. It's just a feel thing? It's totally a feel thing. I just want to make it so viscous that it'll have a tough time getting through whatever small crack I did not seal here. And I think I have it. You see what it kind of still flows, but it doesn't flow very well. And now I'm just trying to make a floor, like a foundation. That's what these first 2 vessels are that I have ready for mixing here. Just going to scatter it as far as I can on the first go here and get it all the way to the end down there. It's quite a big crack under there. It's going to take a lot of resin. So what I'll do in this case is make a really good floor. Then I won't fill it full of 5-minute resin. I'll fill it full of 24-hour resin because it's way cheaper. Then I'll do the final set on top with 5-minute resin. This 5-minute resin, to fill that whole cavity there, you would use a gallon. That's $350. No, I don't want to do that. I mean, I love my daughter and everything, but no, I'm just going to do it the right way and not break the bank. Kind of an expensive way to get rid of a hole, but it is certainly worth doing. And here, I don't want to ruin my live edge, so try to put it close to it as I can. So wait 5 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and then I'll peel off that mylar that I have on the back, and I'll be able to see if I have any leaks. And if I do, I'll address them with more 5-minute, and then I'll turn it over and hit it with the 24-hour epoxy, and I'll fill it so that it's about a ½ inch from the top. That way I'll have room to lay stones in there. And I can always build it up with a little bit of 5-minute resin while I'm laying the stones in. All right, this is looking really good. I didn't bring my screw gun, so I can't undo the clamp, but suffice to say that it'd be good enough to pour in the 24-hour resin now. Let's go do that. Let me mix that up. I got to get my mask. Now I remember why I wear a mask. I don't see it leaking yet, but I fear it might. And it's going to stick this board to the back of it, but that's okay. I have a tool to fix that. I'll just peel the plywood off. I just see it got away just a little bit inside there. It didn't hit the ground, but it did go on that board. Probably this side will release and that side will stick, and I'll just rip the board in half. And then I'll put some more resin. I saved that other part, that 24-hour part, so tomorrow I'll be able to see how much room I have for stones, and then I'll add resin accordingly. I don't set in wet resin. I just set dry stones, and then I pour resin over it. And then I grind the stones down. I try to have some kind of a flat top on the stone, but it doesn't always happen that way. Yeah, we're not leaking. That's good. Oh, we are leaking just a wee bit. Just starting to. It hasn't dripped yet, but it looks like it might. I have a tiny drip right there. It doesn't look like it's going to gush. Oh, I see it on the other side too, right there. Yeah, epoxy gets away. It's crafty. And that's 24-hour stuff, so that's probably not going to stop anytime soon. Let me get another screw nail or two. I want to screw that to the bottom. That might stop it. It might have just increased the flow. If that is going to be 2 of those little pints, I'm going to need more. Now it's a war. It is a trickle, isn't it? I kind of think that's enough to handle it. This was supposed to be a glue dam, but it turned out to be a glued board on top of something. Oh boy. I think we've all been here, right? If you get your epoxy resin out of control. Wow, it's on there good. A fulcrum would be helpful. If you like the videos, please subscribe. It helps me do more videos and bring more content to more users. Thank you. Archimedes. Fulcrum. Reason this stirs so nicely is because it's been on a heat mat. Dog, you're going to get stuck down. It's looking good. I'm trying to see how much headspace I still have left to fill. I don't want to fill it all or I won't have any room for the turquoise. Still got more work to do there. The goal here is to get as many flat surfaces parallel with this flat surface as you can. So if I put in, say, a thin chip like this, this is just buried. You can't use that. That makes it more difficult to find the right piece, especially on a large surface like this. And you certainly don't want to put in a great big, huge, tall chunk because that just requires too much sanding. Yeah, this is turquoise from a friend of mine that has a turquoise mine in Nevada. I was a beekeeper for 30 years, and this fellow was instrumental in helping me survive that industry for a few years. He was a very good supplier. He had bees from an area that was out of state, but was really, he brought in healthy bees, and it was really hard in California to find healthy bees at that time. I think I'm going to put in a little bit of sawdust in here just to give these stones something to stand on, because some of them have a round bottom and they'll just kind of fall over. You know, you stand them up and they don't stay up very well. I don't mind having stones in there that are a little tall, because I'm going to knock them all down. But I do need something in the bottom down here. So let me get some sawdust, putting a little basement in here so that these stones will sit flat when I set them there. So now it's a process of getting the stones in there without getting them too shallow. It really is a fun process to get all these set just right. And you see how long it's going to take. It's just going to take forever. I'm going to pour 5-minute resin on top with no coffee, just straight resin, and try to get it to bond the wood that I have on top of here. So I have little wood chips in here now. So I have to bond this wood to the resin below. There's my dogs doing some woodworking over there. This, you just want to make sure that the edge of the stone has resin on it. And I suspect it's going to sink really deep as it goes into the sawdust. Just have to have resin on the every side of everything. So. I'm going to put a 50 on here, so let's do that. Has a 80 on it right now. Look at that thing is eating through the side of that piece I added on there 10 years ago. The belt kept falling off. I added that on there in order to be able to put the belt on faster. It wasn't fast enough for me. I'm going to continue. We have totally wasted this 50. I'm going to put a new 80 on, but I'm going to concentrate on the wood part instead of the stone first, and then I'll just briefly hit the stone. And then I'll put a 220 on. I'll concentrate on mostly everything else, and then I'll hit the stone last. The stone will take a lot of handwork at the end. And so this will come through really fast, so you'll be surprised how fast it goes. Oh, there's a lot more handwork to do, but got to start with 180 and go over the whole top. This will be the hard spot, but the rest of it go real fast. And then take care of the edge a little bit. See, this one's a little too deep. And what happened here? Big old void. I don't know what happened there. And that one's a little deep on an angle. But rest of them are pretty flush with the top. And here there's burn marks from that belt. And when these are 50 grit marks right there, and these are burn marks. I have to go past those. See, in the stone, it is polished down pretty good to 220 in some places, but I still have to do some places. I don't want to dig that out. Still have a lot of fill work to do. And it's kind of loose because I want it to fill nice and smoothly on top. I don't want a real granular fill on top. I don't have to defy gravity here. I just want a real good, complete fill. The big Carillion gun of the sander world right here, the orbital. This is the 150 Rotex. It is a wonderful tool, wonderful tool. I will definitely buy another one when it craps out. It crapped out once. I sent it to them, and they sent it back to me and just charged me for the parts. It was amazing. They were so very kind. It was like $270 to get it repaired, but that was like 5 years ago, and it's still rolling. So, and I've had this for maybe 10 years. Wow. Yeah, and I work every day, and maybe not with this tool, but its sister is just over there, and it's a 5-inch. This is the Big 6. Big 6. So I've got the 180s I got to peel out. Here they are. And I'll need some 220s. And the 360s. Don't fall off of there. I don't know where the 360s are. We'll cross that bridge if we come to it. Check it out. Okay, sandpaper, sandpaper, sandpaper. Sandpaper, 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 sandpaper. Back there, sandpaper everywhere. I mean, and look behind the sander. Sandpaper. You know, this is a whole thing is about abrasives. We're just whittling, basically. You start big and you get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then finish. That's. Basically, I just wanted to get all the 50 grit lines out. If I can get all the 50 grit lines out of the stone, then I can take care of the rest with the 80 grit. So now this is no longer able to sand this because it's sanded that. This is like a 5 on the Mohs scale. I don't know what wood is. I think maybe a 1. So it's really hard. So now I'm just going to try to. I took out that burnt spot. That belt put a burnt spot on the wood. And there's the 50s right here. See the 50s right there? With this tool, I don't have any grit left. That should have taken it off. But when you replenish the grit, put a new pad on, that's the time to take it off, is with the new grit. Okay, identify right there. It's come off real easy with the new grit. So this is actually the first coat, and it protects it. And the second coat is the one that she is going to have for water resistance with the finish on it. This is kind of like a dental rinse. It's going to highlight where you didn't sand very well. So this gives me an opportunity to clean that up before I go on the final lipstick when the delivery happens. There's always one more thing, you know. There's never an end to it. I call it the one more thing, one more thing. Okay, so now I have knocked the finish down. I've absorbed most of it, but I want a clean one that I can dry it completely. A paper towel will break and a rag will rip a little part up. And I mostly apply that to veneer, but it could happen with just the corner of one of these little dealy bobbers that stick up, you know, little. There, see right there, there's a spot I need to sand. I see the sanding marks didn't come together really well right there. This is going to destroy my sanding media real fast. I want a used 220. What this does, what I'm doing right now, I call it varnishing the finish. It rubs the oil in. And it also gives me a chance to correct any place where I didn't sand very well. I saw one over here a minute ago. I got that one, but I saw another one right in there. That's the finish, burnished in, so that it's a matte finish. There it is. Now feel it. And here's a nail. This was a black spot created by iron. This whole thing here is because of one nail. You see how it damaged the whole tree. Anytime you hammer a nail into a tree, it's really bad for the tree. Don't do it.